Good afternoon, YouTube. Or if it's night where you are, then good evening. So, today's video is going to be one about one of the most precious books and perhaps the most expensive book in my library, which is why the background's changed back to the bookshelf on which the book was kept, which is that one. And the book I'm going to be talking about here today is this one. Necronomicon, the best weird fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. The plot twist is this is the commemorative edition. What does that mean? If I open the book, the first thing it hits you is this map. Then if I go in a little deeper, here's a couple of criticisms for Lovecraft's work from people like Stephen King, who has this to say: Lovecraft opened the way for me, as he has done for others before me. And then, of course, we have the quintessential Mr. Gaiman, who has this to say: H.P. Lovecraft built the stage on which most of the last century's horror fiction was performed. As doomed as any of his protagonists, he put a worldview into words that has spread to infect the world. You need to read him. He's where the darkness starts. And there are other such quotes. My camera might not be able to show you. Okay, now it's showing you. The light is adapting. So there's an entire page of quotes like this. Following this, what I actually really like about this commemorative edition. Get a load of this. Who here has seen Bleach? Does this or does this not remind you of Ulquiorra in bat form? And then there are some other illustrations like this. This is where I've written my name, and this is the main cover page. So there are illustrations like this scattered throughout the book. If I were to open it to a certain page, yeah, so just where the bookmark is, I'm going to be talking about the bookmark too. Just give me a sec. So just where the bookmark is. So this is what it looks like on the inside. There are illustrations like this on the inside, and another mosquito, stupid mosquitoes. Now, so this is the book, and it cost me nothing. It was a gift from a person I've known on Facebook for years now. Her name is Anju. She lives in Leeds with her boyfriend Adam. And we met on Facebook sometime around 2011 or 12, right when there was a big Kolkata concert for Poets of the Fall. Poets of the Fall, promoting their album Temple of Thought, came to Kolkata. I went to the concert, had my brains blown out, and that is when I've known Anju, who's from South India. Anju took my library's catalog on the Excel sheet. I mailed it to her. She said she wanted to contribute something to the library, so she ended up gifting me this Necronomicon commemorative edition. Anju, thank you so much once again, because when this book arrived, I was sitting on that corner of the bed, and I was just sitting like this, looking at the book, and I was crying. And since I mentioned Poets of the Fall, let me quote Poets of the Fall when I say, "Don't cry for your love, cry tears of joy, 'cause you're alive, cradled in love." Or in my case, cradled in Lovecraft. Sorry, I mean, I did not rehearse this. This is all completely extempore. I could not resist that part. Now, the thing is, this book is one of the most expensive books I own, and it is never leaving this house. If anybody who's seeing this video wants to read this book, either buy it yourself, good luck finding it, or come to my house, stay in this room, and read it. But if you try to take it out of here, I will freaking curse your 15 generations worth of progeny. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of nervous energy here today. As you can see, there's a lot of energy here today. But that is what is going to happen when I tell you the stories of how I ended up with books from in my library. So this is something new that I'm starting. This is the tale of a second-hand book. That's what this is going to be. So, or rather, that's the working title. The title might be different. So I used to narrate stories and I used to call them a house full of stories. This is going to be the tale of the book. Okay. So like, yeah, let's remove second hand. All these books are first hand anyway. So to kick it off, the most expensive, the most treasured book in my entire collection, gifted to me by Anju. And what is the book about? What is the book like? The book is the easiest way to describe Lovecraft is to use the word eldritch. His stories have a large element of surrealism, tremendous amount of horror. They do terrify me. And I made the mistake of reading Lovecraft in with one light on in the entire house while my dad was asleep in the other room. And there was pin drop silence. There was just me with with a bottle of soda and the book. And I read and I read and I read and I read, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and there are weird noises going around in the house and weird images forming in my mind. So Lovecraft is kind of he talks about creatures from another dimension. He's most famous for creating the Great Cthulhu universe, where the Great Cthulhu is this elder god, and he wakes once every 5,000 years. That's the basic gist of what Lovecraft deals with. Now, one of the most interesting novellas in this book is Herbert West Reanimator. And once I read the entire novella, I was honestly intrigued to find out who would win in a battle, Herbert West or Victor Frankenstein. And maybe I'll write to epic rap battles of history and have Victor Frankenstein have a rap battle with Herbert West. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, because I'm just crazy enough to do it. You know I'm crazy enough to do it. So, and now I told you I was going to talk about the bookmark. So let me show you the bookmark. This bookmark is something I purchased for 30 rupees from my friend Olivia Chakraborty, an independent artist who is also the founder of an organization called Youth Art Scene. On the back of this bookmark, she has written this message: To Ashish, happy reading from Ink Gone Wild. Ink Gone Wild is her Instagram handle, and all of her art, which you can buy, can be found on that handle. On her profile and on my Instagram profile are multiple artists, multiple independent artists, and I have had the privilege of attending Youth Art Scene, where I have seen some of their creations, where I have purchased some of their creations, and they adorn my wall. One day I will give you a look at the wall. But today it's all about the bookmark that resides in this book. That was the story of how I got Necronomicon by H.P. Lovecraft all the way from Leeds via someone in London. And it was so cool that Anju picked up her phone, called up her book guy, who was like, yeah, sure, I'll send it. And the amount of hype this book generated when it arrived in my book club, with all the people being curious about Lovecraft, so obviously, me being the diabolical genius that I am, I immediately suggested that we study the Nameless City. For details about the book club I belong to, check out the phone number attached to this video. The book club is run by my friend Gayathri. She will filter you because it's WhatsApp based. And if you make it in, it's a crazy space where I am very active. So it's a good chance to interact with like minded bookworms. That being said, it is almost 10 minutes. There are 6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2. This is the Bilgemaster signing off.